Emperor's Domination Side Story 2, The Peerlessly Vulgar Immortal Emperor Fei Yang. Prime Ominous Grave, Divine Dragon Mountain. This was a place full of destiny stones. They were extremely precious and highly sought after by countless geniuses and experts. At the peak of this mountain was a particular immortal stone. It was really the king of destiny stones, the natural-born ancestor of its kind. There was not a second destiny stone comparable to it in this world. Because this was one of the earliest metals since the inception of the universe, many wise sages and prodigies have vied for it to no avail. During the beginning of the Desolate Era, a man drifted closer while shouldering both a bronze sword and the heaven on his back. Primordial chaos and the early laws floated around him. He was the rising sun at the start of this world, the bringer of an entirely new age. This was immortal Emperor Guchun, the first emperor of the Nine Worlds, the person who started the heavens will epic. He walked to the summit the divine dragon mountain and gazed at the primal metal. He became quite happy and sat down to gently pat it. His words were the eternal universal laws, fellow Taoist, will you follow me? The primal stone was quiet and didn't make a sound. The emperor did not force it after seeing the lack of response. He said, very well, you and I are not meant to be. Keep on waiting for the faithful person then. With that, he stepped into the sky and disappeared towards the horizon. The 100 races began to rise during the early Desolate Era, with one emperor appearing after another. In this generation, immortal Emperor Fei has shouldered the heaven's will to ascend to the throne. Today, he visited the Divine Dragon Mountain. His arrival was accompanied by the immortals and goddesses. Auspicious images emerged in the sky with peaceful laws. This was a prosperous era. He looked at the primal stone before shaking it with his hand. He wanted to forcefully take it away, but despite the fact that he could shake the Nine Worlds, he was unable to take this stone away. He ceased his effort and said, the price for a forceful taking is too large, the gains do not make up for the losses. With that, he crossed the myriad realms with the Grand Tao without any regrets. The goddesses followed him as well. Nearing the end of the Desolate Era with myriad laws circulating, immortal Emperor Fei Yang carried the heaven's will. The Nine Worlds trembled in fear. Even the burial grounds and ancestral earths got a headache because of him. Today, the emperor flew to the Divine Dragon Mountain, unaccompanied by laws or imperial auras. The leisure and carefree emperor wore a hemp garment with a smile on both his face and in his eyes. He sat down next to the primal ore and gently rubbed as if he was touching a lover. He smiled happily to say, baby, my baby, how about going with me? Come with your young master. If you are a boy, then I will give you nice clothes and good food. If you are a girl, this young master's technique is number one and you will die from the pleasure. The emperor didn't hold back with his teasing. If he wasn't unbeatable in this world, no one would believe that he was actually an immortal emperor. There was no reaction from the primal stone after a while either. The emperor didn't become angry. He touched the stone again with both hands like a scoundrel while chortling, my baby, if I become your master, you will have endless benefits. I, Fei Yang, am the number one in the Nine Worlds, gifted in both literature and martial arts. With my sky-high armament, I can fight against the myriad tribes and sections. If I take it off, I can deal with 6,000 goddesses. What do you think? There was still no reaction from the stone. If you won't follow me, then I will have to punish you. He smiled and took out a divine brush. He refined the laws and polished the Tao. His stroke encompassed the yin and yang as well as the six Tao and the reincarnation cycle. In the blink of an eye, he drew an ugly girl on top of the primal ore before laughing and being quite pleased with himself. He then put away his brush and slowly walked away. After he left, whenever the full moon came, an ugly girl would appear from the stone and kissed it while whispering coquettishly, I'll always think of you. Come with me, love. It wasn't until the end of Immortal Emperor Fei Yang's generation did the seal with the ugly girl left by him on the primal or slowly dissipated away. Emperor's Era. Immortal Emperor Hao Hai arrived. He stepped forward while being protected by the deities. The 9 worlds were opened with heavenly images. True dragons and immortal phoenixes were present, painting quite a majestic scene. The emperor looked at the stone and said, "Throughout my whole life, I believe that I can catch up to Zhao Hong and Fei. It seems that I still have a long way to go. What a supreme immortal stone, unfortunately, I can't seize it." Having said that, he then left. Emperor's Era. The human race was quite prosperous during this time. The moment Emperor Hong Tian came out, the myriad worlds turned dark and the heaven became suppressed. She traveled through the 9 worlds and the myriad realms. As she walked in these lands, she remembered the past and reflected on old errors. This was not her first time to Divine Dragon Mountain. Before, a dark crow has led her to this place to pick a destiny stone. Alas, she was alone today. As she looked at the primal stone, his voice echoed in her head, "This immortal stone right here, wait until you become immortal emperor, then you can probably take it away. It is simply unique, not weakened by the 10th world. With it in your possession, you will be a tiger with wings up there in the future." The voice seemed so close, yet she was by her lonesome. After gazing at the stone for a long time, she said softly, "Eventually, we can meet again in the 10th world. Only he in this world will be able to bring you there." With that, she left quietly with a sad expression. As time passed, one generation of Immortal Emperor came after another, but the primal are still towered on top of the Divine Dragon Mountain just like before.